Hello and welcome to Talks in the Bathroom. Hopefully these are on. Is it on? Is this thing on? Yeah. So, there are a few things that I wrote down to talk about today, but I sort of forgot what those were about. But the thing that popped to mind just before I started today was thinking about affirmations and loops that you get going in your head, like when a song is caught in your head and things like that. Because I've been on TikTok a bunch lately, and particular sounds or particular lyrics get caught in my head, and most of the time those lyrics at best are saying something neutral or nonsensical. And so that was making me think about affirmations and mantras, and particularly lyrics to different mantras like the Hare Krishna mantras, or these other really beautiful mantras, but I don't know, I'm not fluent in the language, so if ever I'm using any of these mantras, probably if I learned, I just don't know if they would have the same context, because most of the time I'm saying the words, but I'm not having the same image that comes to mind as if you say like elephant or something like that, you know? So I feel like but I know there's a bunch of people in sort of spiritual community that use these different things, but they're not in a language that they really speak. So they're kind of saying words that don't necessarily mean anything to them. And they may be getting a good feeling from reciting them and everything, but I feel like they might not be getting the same sort of benefit, I guess. And how this relates to TikTok is because there'll be like, what's a recent one? Of the good evening thing. I don't know if, depending on who's watching this and when, but the sort of current popular like trend thing on TikTok is this, I'm not even gonna sing the tone because I don't want to get, but it's good evening, are you available? Something like that. I've already forgotten it, but that'll be going in my head, and each of those words has meaning to me. So if you believe in affirmations and things like that, and I don't know the research on them in particular if they do have a good effect, but I definitely feel personal benefit from using them. Those words are creating that sort of vibration in my head. So that's kind of messing with mantra stuff. So I'm really like kind of wanting to, I know you can use TikTok in a controlled way, but I think in the best case scenario, it's like uplifting at times, but you're getting a reflection of yourself back from that algorithm, and you're getting a reflection of yourself that isn't completely in the real time. So this is kind of a ramble on affirmations and mantras as well, because some of those songs are so nice. I just love like listening to them, and they sound so good. Now I'm talking about different mantras, like the Hare Krishna mantra and different things like that, and they sound really nice to listen to. But I'm sure there's some power in like maybe subconsciously the tone of different words has a benefit, but I imagine it has more of a benefit when a word produces an image in your mind, because at some level that image is creating sort of, if your mind is creating this image and you can see it, then that imagery is, well, I actually don't know about this, but my sort of thought is that when you say a word, like if you say elephant and you see an elephant in your mind is in some way creating this image. And so it's creating light by an image being light. And this image in your mind has a vibration. Like anything you see, everything has a vibration. So it's like creating this resonance with you. So I think it'd be great if we could make some, like, I was just looking through YouTube and I couldn't really find any that are particularly as just like as beautiful and good as some of these mantras, and they're so old, some of them too. So it might take a while to like make ones that are as powerful, because it would just take time to see which are really like the most beneficial if you were to create your own in English. But might be a cool project to do. But yeah, anyways, so you listen to the radio and a song gets caught in your head. But now many millions of people are on TikTok, and what's popular tends to be like a sound is popular, so it's like reproduced again and again. And yeah, so I'm definitely not really want to spend that much time on it. So those are some thoughts on that. The other things that I was thinking about was getting older, and I'm just joking. I don't remember what the idea was about getting older, besides that I'm getting older and we're all getting older. Oh, I think the idea around getting older was that if you have sort of like a spiritual view about your consciousness, even this is how I got, well, I'm going to diverge, but so my background is kind of in like sciencey stuff, but the idea that got me really believing in, or the sort of like logical idea that really got me believing that you are either like some sort of like, I guess the first like spiritual thought that I had which I'm sure has been talked or thought about a bunch before, but I hadn't, it just popped into my mind one day, was that humans and are able to be conscious, like these are my hands, blah blah, and I'm not sure where the science is at with how conscious other animals are able to be or are of themselves existing. But so if you're conscious now and you're a human, and depending on, maybe there's multiple universes, maybe this is the only one that there's ever going to be, but there are, so once you die, your consciousness is over. From like a atheist perspective, I guess. Once you die, your consciousness ends, you're dead, you're gone, you're dust. But it's like when you go to sleep. You go to sleep, and when you're not conscious, you're not like conscious of yourself being asleep. You go to sleep, and unless you have a dream, then you wake up. And it's like there's no space between that. You're conscious, and then there's like, obviously there's a space that we can see as if you're watching somebody sleep, you can say, oh, they're not conscious. But that person comes back to life in the morning. And so I think of that way with consciousness as well, as you may die and your physical body will be over. But once you understand that there's no gap from your personal experience between being conscious, dying, and being conscious again, then you see like, oh, consciousness is just forever. And that's really cool. And you don't have to, that doesn't take any spiritual perspective. That's just like pretty straight up logic, I think. If that's wrong, then talk to me about it. But I'm pretty sure that's pretty sound logic. And if you're into different like meditation or whatever, then your understanding of consciousness can change. But at least that sort of got rid of the idea, this like existential dread of being atheist. That really got rid of that for me, because it's like, oh yeah, okay, it's never going to end. And that makes me way more like, oh wow, I really want to be enjoying now. So I think a really good way to enjoy now is around affirmations. I think mantras can help with that as well. I don't know if mantras needs to be, if it should be a tra, like mantra. I hear some people say it like that, but anyways, I think mantras can make this experience of being conscious really enjoyable, because it combines music as well as good thoughts and things like that. So yeah, so either it would probably be easier, I wonder if it would be easier to learn the original languages that these old mantras are in, or to make up new ones. But I have a feeling making up new ones, especially because the stories around these different mantras are that they're sort of like received divinely and things like that. So, but if I receive any divine mantras, then I'll definitely be putting them up here, or like try to record it or something like that. So those are thoughts for the day, for the week, and we'll catch you all next time. Bye.